take the theory test, the theory test is easy actually at Whiteland. Once you know your highway code, piece of cake. That's not the most difficult part. I've said it before, Whiteland. I seriously think they should do every 5 years, get drivers to take a refresher test course, and if they completely fail at hardcore, then they've got to go and do something a bit more serious, because the standard of driving just drops over the years. And there's always changes to signage and stuff on a road, and a lot of people who have been on the road for like 30 years don't know a lot of the new signs and things like that. I don't see why you should be in charge. You know, if you fly a plane, you've got to maintain like your medical, you've got to maintain your knowledge. If you drive a car, you can kill people, and you know, once you've passed your test, you're gravy for the rest of your life. It's bizarre to me that that's the case. The rest of your life, because you passed your test, and don't forget, you know, over the years, driving tests have become more thorough, and they use simulators now. They use theory tests, and then a practical test. You know, it's a lot harder to pass a test now than it was, say, back in the 50s, when it was, you probably knew the driving instructor back in the 50s, and some guy would take you around the block, and he'd be like, yeah, you're fine, Jeff. There you go. And you've got your test for the rest of your life. And since then, things have moved on massively. But there's no refresher course, there's no requirement to pass anything ever again, and I don't think that's right. You know, if you're in a car with passengers, you're responsible for their life, aren't you? It's just the same as if you're driving a train or a bus or something. You're responsible for their lives. Why are you not, you know... It's a bit of a soapbox, but I just don't agree with the fact that for the rest of your life you can just drive without any kind of a... even a refresher course. Never mind a test, just a refresher course. Probably fail your driving test if you took it today. Heyman, I reckon a huge majority of people would fail their driving test if they took it again. In the UK, you don't need a basic medical every 10 years. Nope. It works on a declaration policy, so in theory, you should tell the DVLA that you've got a medical problem, yeah? But there's no requirement to go in for a check. So there's no requirement, like every 5 or 10 years, to even go in for an eye test. Yeah? You could have people on the road that can't even see past 100 meters. There's no check on it. In the USA, you pay a renewal license every 5 years. A fee? Yeah, but is there any kind of... like, fees aside, I'm talking about knowledge and skill and aptitude, and I'm talking about that stuff. Dave, I'm 84. I agree with you on Paul, but every 10 years should do a retest. But from December, they're bringing an examiner sat nav, and you've got to follow its instructions and park on the RT facing oncoming traffic. Facing the right. From December, they're bringing an examiner sat nav. Oh. Well, there you go. So they're making it even more tricky then. Isn't a health test over 70s? Shoot bandits, that's the only limit. So when you get to 70 years old, you have to go and I think just have like a basic eye test and that kind of thing. And then it's renewed every 5 years or something like that. But that's the only one. All the way from 17 when you pass your test to 70, there's no requirement to have a test or a checkup. In Sweden, you have to do a health check every 5 years and higher classes on driving license. To keep on... yeah, but what about car license? That's what I mean. Just a basic car license. I'm not being scammed by that little sat-nav trick. In Argentina, old people have to have a medical test every year. 19 years old, I don't think a retest should be done every so often. I do think, yeah. DVL needs to know what people's medical info, the doctor should have to pass it on. Well, it's not the way it is. The requirement is put on the driver. Let's face it, if you suddenly have a medical problem, your first port of call is not to think, oh, I better tell the DVA so they can take my license away. You're going to go, I'll not tell the DVA. That's what people are going to do. Yeah, I know there's the logistics of it, ME Green. I know there's logistics involved, but at the same time, you know, the government and the DVLA is always on about improving road safety, yeah? That they call all these speed cameras safety cameras. They put 20-mile-an-hour limits outside of schools. They give you 6 points if you drive and are seen holding a mobile phone. And yet, they do nothing about driver standards for your entire driving life. You can't tell me that's correct. That doesn't make any sense to me. Just think when you're driving down the road, 1 in 10 people are not insured, and who knows how many of them can't even see properly, or have never actually passed their test. There are people like that on the road. And then out of all the other drivers, there's some guy who's like 65 years old, probably doesn't know half the highway code signs, and he can't even see them anyway. And nobody's checking up on that. Nobody's enforcing it. So when you have a crash with this guy, and it turns out it's because he can't see properly, or he didn't understand the road signs, you're going to be thinking, well, whose fault is this? Is that his fault? Well, this is true, then. There will be a lot of robotic-driven cars anyway, so it won't matter. Majash, thank you very much for the host, sir. Thank you. Devious Duke resume and a yes Anastasia, 2 months. Your streams are like a weird form of ASMR for me. As strange as that sounds, keep up the great work. Thank you very much. Oh, I have no doubt you're going to see driverless cars appearing over the next sort of 25 years or so. Particularly on the major highway routes. We've discussed it before, they'll have a lane dedicated to driverless cars. That's how it'll start. Mr. Blackhawk's my dad is over 70 and each year the DVL just send him a form that he has to sign to say that he's fit to drive and can see. But no formal check done, but it's under threat of jail time if he lies. Yeah, but the jails are so crowded, Blackhawks, though, they're not going to put a 70-odd-year-old guy in jail. Unless he just, you know, unless he kills somebody, in which case it's a different story anyway. But they're not going to put him in jail. Good night, Chestnut. What? Okay, so where are the police? Where's the siren? How does that even work? $1,000. A friend of yours works at Lufthansa maintenance told me that they currently have an EasyJet A320 standing around for 6 weeks. That's now made a minus 1500 FPM landing at Munich. What? Yeah, just sign a form. Yeah, I'm fine. It's not right, is it? But I'll tell you why these rules are not being brought in, right? I'll tell you why. Because the policymakers would also be affected by them. Yeah, the politicians, the people who are in charge of this, if they brought that in, it's not going to be somebody else has to conform, it's going to be they have to conform. And they know that they won't pass their tests either. That's why they don't put it forward. Because it'll affect them. Would you trust a driverless car, HST? Would you trust a driverless aircraft? Because HST, every time you fly, it's a computer that's flying the whole thing for most of the journey. So you've already got driverless aircraft. Apart from the fact there are two pilots sitting there punching it all in, but autopilot is exactly that. Autopilot is what is already working, and if you've flown, you've already done it. Alan Bowen, thank you for 5 months, Alan. 5 months? Never stops. Next stop, Silver Acorn. Thanks for the entertainment. Back to lurking. Thank you, Alan. Oh, God. Sunday night soapbox. We don't often have a soapbox. Talking about driverless cars, you just passed Tesla. True. They'll be a thing, you can't avoid them. Oh, we've got the rail drop off again. Luckily, there's no oversized trailer just peeking its head here, otherwise this would be very difficult. But we got lucky today. Two inches back, Jeff. There we go. How's the vacation? Pretty good, JP? $32 grand, 940 XP. Ding! Level 29. Ooh. What should I pick? Let's pick fragile cargo. We'll do fuel economy last. Oh god. For some reason I thought that was like... Never mind. Dr. Dre, hello Paul, what happened to your lip? Scumbag Dre. Squirrel love, it will get old at some point. By the way, looked into and fixed the issue with the double sub. Thank you, Dre. You utter scumbag. Thank you for the resume, Matt Smith. Let's see if there's a very short drop we can do over here. Bit of flour. Bit of flour. Reservoir tank, that's too far. We'll take this and be the last job. Double trailer flour. Charlie Sims, I have to go now. Sorry, I haven't stayed long, but I'm up early. Going to London. Not looking forward to the traffic. But cheers for a good stream, Paul. See you on Thursday night. Love all, Squirrel love. Charlie, have a good one. Stay safe in London. And I'll see you Friday, because I won't be streaming Thursday, unfortunately. I have a funeral to go to. Oh, I get some fuel. This will be the last journey today. Mr. Whiteland. Dr. Dre, I heard Paul went skating. Or was it swimming? Oh god, I can't remember. Yeah, but I don't like skating, Whiteland. You know I like swimming. Mustang, thank you for 20 months. The big 2-0. Thank you for all the fun and discussion. Did Dole nip your lip? No, we can't blame Dole for this. Thank you, Mustang. Mercaholic, 34 months. Thank you, Mercaholic. Yeah, I'll see you Friday, Charlie. No Furman this time. Take that one. Good night, ETS Infant. How far do you feel ATS will go in terms of map size? I honestly, I don't know. I really don't. Dr. Dry, you don't like skating? Do you like swimming though? I think it was swimming, Whiteland. Yeah, it was definitely swimming. Because we all know I don't like skating. Frank, it's my last delivery. This one is my last delivery. Jules, did you enjoy Truck Fest last week? Okay, I smell a conspiracy now. Vonabor, thank you for 8 months, Vonabor. Who needs heavy trailers if you have doubles and triples? Well, they're like different challenges. But how long do you think it's going to be before the mod authors get a hold of it and create double heavy trailers? Like super ridiculous stuff is going to come out. Thanks for killing all of my momentum. And we'll now create a deadlock scenario. GG car. Because, you know, that's definitely the right place to wait to turn left, isn't it? Like, you know, a bit further forward. Why would you want to do that? Is it possible for mod authors to do more than 3 trailers, Connor? No, they can only work with what's in the game, so they can't add more articulation points. But I grab some fuel. How much fuel have we got? Yeah, we need to grab some fuel. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Mr. Wyland. Dre, it might be the missus. You what, mate?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Why does it sound like a World War II plane just flew over? Pringles Leaf, who needs swimming and Truckfest, Paul? You only need to feel the warmth. The triples have 5 articulation points. Yeah, true. So, what do we think mod authors are going to do with that quick set? Right, we've got the fuel. Do you think now we've got multi-trailers we will get multi-drops? Oh, I do hope so.
Oh, yeah.
The idea of owning a trailer and doing multiple drops and things like that is something I've always wanted in this game. The problem with this game is there's no proper sense of ownership. Like, you buy a truck, but you're only allowed to own 1 truck. All the others are driven by these virtual AI that you never see on the road. The idea of owning your own truck and trailer and having different trailers for specific jobs is like massively appealing. Mikey, hello Paul, just thought I would send you some bits to say I hope everything goes well for you on Thursday. Keep up the great streams. Thank you very much, Mikey. One sec, Dave. Dave, I was on an induction course with work. An instruction during the course said that the tech is here for driverless cars and get dropped as soon as tomorrow, but the human factor won't cope with it straight away. So you have things like lane assist braking when we get close to slow vehicles. Yeah, they're already experimenting with it, Dave. Like, Google's already got driverless cars. Scania's got driverless trucks, so's Volvo. They're already testing this tech out. It's just getting it onto a public road is a different story. The tech's already there, though. Good night, Farm Sinfan. Driverless tractors on farms. Makes a lot of sense for farming, you know. I've just not made a video for it, S3's Francois. I just haven't had time to make that video. And I did say that to him. I did say I'll try my best, but I can't guarantee it. It's just... it takes a lot of time to put that kind of thing together. You got to get lots of different trucks, lots of different footage. You got to tie it in with the music. It takes a lot of time. Dr. Dre Pringles, can you bring a blanket for Paul if he's to feel the warmth? Also, make sure you don't disturb the green screen when you pop into the house. Pringles has to stay though, he's holding the green screen. Yeah, they are S-Reeves, absolutely. What about the people who simply enjoy driving? Trucking pilot, I can see the day when there'll be the majority of journeys will be driverless, and there'll be specific roads for you to drive on if you want to drive yourself, or even it'll get to the point, you know, where it'll be a novelty thing that you pay for to go and drive a car because you're not allowed to. It'll be, you know, it will get that way at some point. It could take 100 years, but it'll go in that direction. Especially when driverless cars give you the added benefit of being able to go twice the speed that you can. Like, they'll speed limit you to 70, but the driverless cars will be doing like 200 miles an hour in road trains like 2 feet from each other. And then you'll be thinking to yourself, well, hang on a minute, I could drive this thing and get there in 10 hours and be tired, or I could get on one of these cars, go to sleep in the back, or read a book and be there in 4 hours. Once the benefits are realised, you know, you won't want to, apart from fun. What about motorcycles? Yeah, but there's only certain roads you can do that on, Bez. You don't think they can ban non-driverless cars? They can't remove fossil fuel anytime soon. No, they won't ban them, they'll just restrict where they can actually drive. Like, are they going to mix driverless and non-driverless cars? I doubt it. They're not going to build new roads for driverless cars, are they? They're going to start stealing lanes from the existing ones. That's what they're going to do. They're already working on driverless getaway cars. What do you mean? What, for bank robbers? Good night, Cricketer. No, the future's not bleak at all. The future's just different to what you're used to. But that's as true now as it ever was. Like, people who were brought up in the horse and cart era probably sat there and thought, what are all these stupid, you know, combustion vehicles doing on the road? They need to get off the road because horses will never be replaced. And then, you know, here we are, almost 100 years later. How many horses do you see on the road? It'll be the same with the combustion engine. Good night, hipster. Well, kind of Mustang. I mean, bank vaults always have to store gold, don't they? That's in theory the kind of real value. Matt Smith, thank you for 10 months, double-digit hype. Only 2 more months to get that shiny gold top. Loving the streams and vids as always. We're getting off here. Keep up the great work. Sending love to everyone in this awesome community. Thank you, Matt Smith. You see a few horses on the road? Yeah, of course you do. And then there's usually like a pile of poop on the floor right nearby where they've been. And then the motorcyclist goes around the corner and almost falls off his bike. But combustion engines will be a novelty, a bit like horses are like that, on the road. All the talk of driverless cars and have NASCAR on TV. Yeah. .35 mph speed limit around here. Just happy to be alive now to experience internal combustion engines while they're still around, Heyman. Thing is, you know, electric engines, electric vehicles are quicker, accelerate harder. The only downside they have is the charging side of them. And also, you know, the sound of a combustion engine sounds better. What about hydrogen? I don't know. I don't hear much about the hydrogen-powered car, to be honest. I don't hear, you know, Elon Musk banging on about hydrogen at all. He's kind of banging on about electric, isn't he? Noise is a sign of inefficiency. Oh yeah, totally Mustang. Absolutely. I think the petrol engine is about 24% efficient. The rest of it goes on heat and noise. It's ridiculously low. Way lower than a diesel engine. But you can't beat the sound, can you? Compared to an electric, you just can't beat the sound of a combustion. Hydrogen costs too much to produce at the moment, so there you go. Therefore, what's holding that back is we need a breakthrough in the production of hydrogen. So again, it needs a technological advancement. Clumsy Geek, thanks for 10 months. James Thopple, how you do? Sorry about your friend's mother. Your mother had cancer 3 times and won. Wow. Also agreeing what you said about people driving. That's awesome, James. Hydrogen's the way forward, Heyman. Currently, it's looking like electric's going to win that battle. But my question would be, for all these electric vehicles that are going to go on the road, how is the electricity being made? Because, you know, like you get electricity in your home, and there are different electricity providers. And if you choose to, you can decide who you're going to have provide your electricity. And some people will choose like environmentally friendly one, like sustainable energy. They'll choose those companies because, you know, they don't want nuclear power, or they prefer to try and support environmentally friendly electricity production. When you're driving your car and you go and, you know, you pull in at the nearest charging point to charge it in, how are you gonna kind of enforce that? How are you gonna, you know, your power might have come from a nuclear power station, or it might have come from a hydro plant, or it might have come from a wind turbine. How are you gonna know? Well, I presume batteries, it's all gravy, can be taken apart properly now. I don't know, because there's only so much lithium in the world. Tesla points are from solar. Yes, they are, Custard. Tesla points are. But they're not all going to be that way, are they? Well, it depends what you mean by cleanest form of energy, Daniel. Like, the radioactive waste from a nuclear power station has got a half-life of thousands of years. So that's hardly clean, is it? It's toxic for a very, very long time and has to be buried somewhere. That's hardly renewable. Hardly clean, sorry. Well, yeah, exactly. Solar energy. The further north or south you go, the further towards the poles you go, the worse solar energy is. Leaves wind and tidal. Yeah, tidal energy is not particularly efficient for the amount that you have to invest on infrastructure, and then you've got wind, which is variable. You know, even solar is only 12 hours of the day kind of thing. Ellipsis, thank you for the sub, sir. Can we give a nutty welcome to Ellipsis? Thank you for the support. Welcome to the house, Ellipsis. No, battery technology is not moving on significantly, Floaty. Not anywhere near to the level we need it to. Leaky. McBone, my brother, thinks no one will own a car. You phone rent a car as far to pick you up. Take you for shopping. Yeah, the idea of car rental like that, pay as you go, is definitely going to be a massive thing. A lot of people are not interested in owning cars. Or just don't need to. And the idea of just phoning up and having a automated driverless car turn up and take you to where you want to go is definitely going to be a thing. But there'll still be a lot of people who want to own their own car.
Aye, 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 aye.
The Johnny Cab, exactly. Exactly the Johnny Cab. Dr. D! What everybody forgets about nuclear waste is that the radioactive material was dug out of the ground in the first place. I'm not sure what your point is, Dr. D. To be honest. Like when they've dug it out of the ground and then refined it down and then smashed it together and made it into something way more toxic than it was before. Yes, it came out of the ground, but then so does everything toxic on this earth comes out of the ground, or where we are. So I'm not really sure what your point is, Dr. D. Imagine if Moore's laws applied to batteries. Well, that's part of the problem with things like laptops and stuff. Like, the power of a laptop is going up and up and up in terms of its requirements, but the battery technology is struggling to keep up with it. Nuclear will replace, all over Germany replace coal facilities. I suppose the safest thing to do with nuclear waste, if they could do it, would be to just fire it at the sun. You know, but getting it up there is pretty expensive, but that would be, get it off the planet and just fire it towards the sun, and the time it gets there, it'll burn. That would be pretty safe. This, Dex Liskic, I like your name. Dex Liskic, good God. Thank you for your sub. Welcome to the house. Let me give Dex a nutty welcome, guys. I'm doing fine, Lord Winter, how are you? Same with the phone's battery life. Yep. That's what I say, battery technology is just not moving on. We need something, we need a discovery that's going to kind of take the technology to the next level. Some material, whatever it's going to be, that's going to move battery technology on a leap. Because the evolution's not getting, it's just not moving quickly enough. You know, a bit like what happened when we was on valves and then we went to transistors. That kind of, like, massive jump that then unlocks new technology. Back to steam power. You say that, but you have to burn coal. Matt Davis 03, welcome. Graphene batteries, well, maybe. I don't know if that technology exists, 303. You are getting very sleepy. When does this need to be dropped off? Thursday, 7 AM. So we can actually take a sleep if we want to. Although there's hardly much point. Yeah, doubles are out in the beta at the moment, Dark Ranger. They're not like, they're not on the main branch, but you can opt into the public beta if you want to try them out. GarW with 11 months sub to the best community on Twitch and the best streamer. Here's to many more months. Thank you very much, Gar. Thank you for that, sir. I nearly drove into a car, but never mind. Conversation reminds you of physics classes at secondary school. We don't always have them, but it's fun to talk about this stuff. Now the question is, can I deliver this before my guy passes out? You heard that Mercedes will drop out of DTM and put money into Formula E. Yeah, they should do. Is that my gold cap you have on your board next month? Yes, indeed. Thank you, Boxco. Ferrari boss said in Formula 1 he'll be entering Alfa and Maserati into Formula E. Oh, I need to work out to make Formula E sound better. I suspect they're just going to have to put giant speakers on the back. Did I enjoy studying computer science ball at GCSE? Trucker Doe, I didn't study it at GCSE, I studied it at degree level. I didn't bother with the I didn't bother with schooling it before then because I knew more than the teachers did, and I'm not even joking. That was a pretty straightforward drop-off. Like glove. Let's get out of this yard. Well, we've had some easy ones, Zarek, yeah, and there's been some pretty tricky ones. My God, let's go to sleep before I pass out here. Take my Kenny into the Peterbilt dealer. Just to wind them up. Is this a parking sleeping spot? It's over there, actually. We're not allowed to sleep here, which is another thing about the game that annoys me. You can't just sleep where you want to. Oh God, it's a bit dark. It's better. Can't end it in pitch black, can we? Dexter, thank you for the resume, Dexter. Let's see. We're done, peeps. We are done for another Sunday night trucking evening. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. That's the end of the week for streams and stuff. Now, I'm going to be back on Friday next week. I won't be back here on Thursday. I'll be back on Friday, unfortunately. Because I've got to go back to St. Helens on Wednesday and Thursday to see Mum and go to a funeral. So I won't be here Wednesday or Thursday. I will be back on Friday. You just got here. Go Hawks. Somebody always says that when I'm shutting down my stream. Somebody always says, I only just got here. Dexter, sneaking in at the end with the Twitch baby, 9 months. Thank you, Dexter. I shall kick off the playlist of the streams from the last few days. I should kick off the playlist about 10 minutes after. The videos, all the streams go on SquirrelPlus now. So you'll get them 2 days, 48 hours after I stream. So tonight's stream will be on SquirrelPlus on Tuesday. If you want to watch the streams, you're welcome. You're welcome, guys. Thank you for your support as always. I've had a splendid week. Good to be back from holidays. Tomorrow I need to make videos. And Tuesday. And I'll be watching Dunkirk on Tuesday as well. And hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully on Tuesday, maybe get my braces out. That'll be absolutely amazing if I do, because I've had them on since October 2015. So that'll be a big thing for me, if that happens. Not counting my chickens, though. Graham 1984 with the very late sub. Can we give Graham a nutty welcome right at the end there, guys? Thank you, Lord Winter. You're welcome, Wackaday. Well, yeah, thank you for all your support as ever, guys. Much appreciated. Thank you for being here and for hanging out. And I'll be back on Friday. But I'll get some videos out before then. Thank you, Heyman. Hopefully I get my braces out, Zarek. Hopefully. Yeah, I'll post on social. If it happens, don't worry. Right, I'm out of here, guys. Have a great evening. Have a great rest of Sunday, whatever you're doing. Have a good weekend. Sorry, have a good week. And I'll see you all in a few days. Take it easy, guys. Love you all. Good night.